All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this Typhoon short summary. We are going to be looking at, in my opinion, what should be at least a very memorable typhoon, Typhoon Forrest. Forrest with two R's here. In the Philippines, Forrest was known as Ising, and Typhoon Forrest, at least this Typhoon Forrest, happened in 1983. Forrest has been used, I think, in the Indian basin. So and it happened relatively soon, like a few years after this one. So the names could get confused. So this is 1983's Forest. First off, is that we have a pretty straightforward track, thankfully. However, something definitely happened here. So on the 19th of September, we see a tropical depression form without a completely enclosed circulation. This is pretty normal. However, what would not be normal was that by the 20th, it became a tropical storm. By the 21st, it was a typhoon. And then by the 22nd, this thing was a violent typhoon, the highest rating that the JMA can give a tropical system. This thing would peak just on the 23rd of September with 175 mile per hour 1 minute sustained and 125 mile per hour 10-minute sustained wind speeds at a pressure of 885 millibars, which is pretty darn low. Forrest went from a pressure of around 976 millibars to 876 millibars in just over 23 hours, so under 24 hours. That is absolutely insane to think about. Now, Forrest would degrade back from Category 5 equivalent wind speeds to Category 4 equivalent for around 48 hours or so before curving to the northeast and then to the east, decreasing in intensity as it went along this curve. Forrest landfell as an extratropical storm on the 27th or 28th of September before being finally being unrecognizable on the 4th of October, which is when you could say it officially dissipated. You can also say it officially dissipated on the 28th, 29th. However, whichever one works out here. Forrest would be responsible for the deaths of 21 people and injuring 86, with an unknown amount of dollars in damage done. Forrest would thankfully be so intense over open waters and skirt by islands, and even the islands did not experience that much damage, so we're mainly going to be focusing on the impacts in Japan. Motoyama saw 540 millimeters of rain, which is nearly 2 feet. That is what, 26 inches? Something like that. The normal around there was around half of this, around 200 to 250. We would also see rainfall rates of 415 within 24 hours in the same region, with 102 millimeters of rain happening in just 1 hour. Due to all of this rain, you can imagine that some landslides were indeed triggered by this rain, and quite a few did occur. Also, due to this rain, flooding occurred, as you might expect. 46,000 homes were flooded, which left 2,506 homeless. Forrest would be responsible for damaging around 67 bridges and more than 800 roads, that number being 818 to be exact, if I remember correctly. So this thing was just intense over open water. Yes, that is Forrest's claim to fame, and pretty recognizable one at that. That is some pretty rapid intensifying. In fact, Forrest to date is the fastest intensifying tropical storm ever again going from around 978 to 976, uh, a pressure drop of 101 to 102 millibars in again just over 23 hours. Forrest set all-time records, still not beaten to this day, for pressure drops within 24 hours. That's supposed to say 36, not 26. 36 hours and 48 hours. That is wild for just one storm to have three whole records. In fact, due to such explosive intensification, Forrest achieved one of the lowest pressures in the entirety of the Pacific Basin and in the entire world, reaching again around 876 when the lowest ever recorded is 870, held by 79's Typhoon tip. You know the whole thing. You know the spiel. Now, pardon me, what exactly caused this? There's a few things. At the very beginning, even without the closed circulation, there was already a fair bit of convection in Forrest. So, among all satellite imaged rapid intensifiers, there is two exact trends, and the link for where I'm getting this information will be in the description. It will be the last source will be said be the link and then theory of deepening. At least it should be that. If it's not on there, then I've done something very wrong. But you know, both of these theories revolve around the eye, sorry, lessening in size. Essentially, think of an ice skater. When they have their arms and legs out, they spin slower, tuck them in, they get faster, that kind of deal. The theory is that convection was already available when the eye formed. Among, among all satellite image radar rapid intensifiers, we see that really once the eye forms, there is rapid deepening. So the eye has something to do with this. What is it exactly is not 100% sure, because if you have a central pressure, then just go to town, right? No, there's something more to it. It has to be a well-formed eye, at least. Definitely visible from even visible imagery, that's for sure. My theory, at least based on all of this, is that with this convection already available, when the eye had formed, rather than the eye allowing the convection was already there. So this allowed for some absolutely explosive deepening that we saw in Forrest. That is at least the theory that I have. It kind of goes along with everything that you read about, so I hope that I'm not too out of place putting my own theory out there. With that being said, folks, that is all that I have for Typhoon Forest. A truly notable storm for just how intense this thing got. I mean, it is insane. So I thank you all for watching. Now I'll see you in the next one.